Hello and welcome to Our Time. Thank you for joining us. And this is very unusual, Malcolm, that you're able to do this. And gosh, you do look different.
That's right. Trade me in for somebody younger, right? Hello, everyone. It's great to be here once again, and this time with a bit of a change because Josh Belperio has just joined us.
Hello.
Welcome.
It's lovely to be here. Thank you.
Of course, it's lovely to be here because we're here.
Yes.
Now,
how wonderful.
Josh, the reason we asked you onto the show was because you're one of the new emerging young talents in the music industry, in the cabaret world, and in the world of composition.
Yes.
And a very own South Australia.
Yes.
Yes, that.
Yes, I am.
However, because you're trying to usurp this, whatever I'm supposed to be, I found something that your mother sent to me, which happens to be a clip of you when you were just a little boy playing the piano.
Oh no, Malcolm, don't play that.
Yes. Let's have a look. I love the look on your face, like, I done good, Mum.
How old were you then,
I was
Josh?
10 years old.
10.
That was one of my
you?
first concerts.
You were small then too. Look, you're very small now.
Yes, it's the Italian
Stand up,
team.
just to prove that you actually are the same height as us sitting down. Okay, that's fine.
There we go.
Now, Josh, because you've just graduated from
the Older Conservatorium
here in South Australia,
yes.
how did all this start? Apart from falling off the piano, what made you feel that you would be a musician or a composer or a fantastic accompanist actually to cabaret performers?
Gosh, well, I always loved music. I always loved playing the piano. But I suppose I never always wanted to be a composer. Really, when I was a little boy, I wanted to be Harry Potter, as you probably saw in that video.
Yes. You still wear those?
Occasionally,
Tonight
yes.
you can't see a thing, right?
No, these are contacts. Yes, I wanted to be Harry Potter, but then I found out that I on my 11th birthday, I did not get my letter from Hogwarts. From J.K. Rowling, so
disappointed.
I was very disappointed, as were lots of 11-year-olds around the world who turned 11 that day, or around that time. So I thought I'd become an actor, so I could at least play Harry Potter in the movies.
Oh, right.
Right.
The fact that somebody else was already doing that had no
But then Daniel Radcliffe got cast as Harry Potter.
Okay.
So I thought,
this is before the film.
Yes,
okay.
yes. So then I thought, well, if I can't play Harry Potter, I might as well compose the music that's in Harry Potter. But then John Williams got the gig. So
it's amazing though when you say that, just what an effect, you know, a piece of literature like that has had on the world. And
absolutely.
so many people like yourself.
Yes.
But during your time with the Conservatorium, you've written some extraordinary pieces of work. And we've just got a little clip here of, perhaps you could explain it.
Yes, so
This is Magnum.
The piece is called Magna Gloria, which means great glory. A lot of people might say it's a religious piece, but it's not. It was never.
No, but it sounds like the angels singing is the truth.
You can interpret it as that, yes. You're quite welcome to do that. Because one of my passions as a composer is choral music. So I love writing for voices. I've just released a new sheet music store via my website, www.joshbelperio.com.
I'm sorry, we can't do ads on this show.
Oh, damn. Well, it was a community announcement. That's all right. And you can now buy this piece on the store.
Well, look, let's have a look at it, because without actually seeing it, it's hard to actually comprehend what it is you're talking about.
Yes, all right.
So, Josh, what inspired you to do something like that? Because between Harry Potter and now, and that somewhere in the sort of only a couple of years ago.
Yes,
Where
just
did
2
this
years ago.
come from, do you think?
Well, gosh, it came from so many places. This piece, I suppose, is written, it's dedicated to my nonna, who battled with motor neurone disease towards the end of her life. So I don't know if our viewers know much about motor neurone disease.
Yeah, we've certainly talked about it in the program.
Great. So it's quite a debilitating illness, and I suppose the piece was a testament to her courage, her spirit, and I suppose the spirituality that she taught me, and that's become a part of the way that I view the world, and that is ever present when I compose, because composing for me is a very spiritual experience. Not that I'm religious per se.
But that is a wonderful thing, Josh. And but where do you see yourself going from here? What's your ambition?
Sure. Well, I love musical theatre. I love choral music, so I see myself working in those two fields, and particularly in Australia. And ultimately, I see myself working to use music to bring people together, to help people to understand each other better, to help people to feel empathy for one another, particularly in causes that advance social progress, causes to do with, I'd love to work with music, work with Indigenous musicians, work with music inspired by Indigenous themes, all culturally sensitive, of course, and marriage equality and issues of social progress.
Do you have people around you then that are actually helping you do that?
Yes.
You're not doing this all by yourself. I'm just imagining, which take my hat off to you if you are, but I would imagine that you need a support group to be able to do all that.
Or the family,
I have my lovely mother who brought this keyboard in today.
And listen, just for her, would you play something for us right now?
Sure.
To our first break, and we'll see you later on in the program.
Thank you.
This is Josh Belperio, everyone.
Thank you.
And welcome back to Our Time. Now, something very special on the program this time to inform you of some brilliant work that Tim Maloney is doing along with Peter Wilson and Brendan Thayer, who's here with us. Welcome, gentlemen. This is Peter to start with in the middle.
G'day, how you going?
Now, you've got all this diving gear, but we're not talking about diving, because we're talking about people who have physical issues going back into the water and having total freedom.
Correct.
That they would have had before the injury or the birth defect or whatever the situation.
Well, it may even be an experience that they never would have even imagined of prior to that.
Yeah, diving?
Well, we do immersion therapy, so we use scuba equipment.
Yep.
But we don't actually teach open water diving or scuba diving in a traditional sense.
And that's the important thing to talk about, really, isn't it?
Correct.
Because this isn't about, you know, going to the deep ocean and experiencing the fish.
Not at all.
This is about, well, you could probably explain it better than anybody. Because you've done both, haven't you?
I have done both.
Just clear me up. You have, you're a diver, a deep water diver?
Yeah, I've got an open water diver's licence. Got that in '84 when I was still in high school.
Yep. What happened to you?
I had a tumour in my spine when I was 9 months old. Leg was amputated after some surgery didn't work when I was 11. So as far back as I remember, I've had, you know, a type of disability or disabilities.
So you've been more or less locked into a chair to get around?
More less than more, but you know.
Well, getting in the water though, how did that change the way of you feeling about the world?
You know, water is freedom. Freedom of movement.
It's just the inability to breathe underwater that's the problem, obviously.
Yeah, Mum says I'm part fish, but yeah,
only she could know that.
The oxygen tanks work really well.
Yes, they're amazing. But you've got a licence to dive.
I do.
You're also Order of Australia?
I am.
And a Paralympian.
Former, yes.
Shall I keep going on?
There's a list.
These are amazing things. You know, if people get a sore toe and complain forever and really can do everything they want to do in life, and look at you.
Yeah, it's true. I sort of loosely say never give in. You just...
Never give in, never surrender. There was a line in a movie.
Absolutely,
like
yeah.
that, but it's true, isn't it?
But it's true, and you don't want to be in a situation where you say, gee, I really wish I'd tried that, you know, a month ago, a year ago, a lifetime ago. So when opportunities present, then, you know, I believe you should have a go.
So Peter, this course, or this idea, this concept, started from where?
Look, from probably my own personal experiences, all the way back, it probably goes to 2007. I actually was involved in a pretty serious accident myself, which left me with a 47% disability, which happened while I was at work, but it was a road accident where it happened. Coming out of that, I actually went off and learnt to recreationally scuba dive, and much like Tim said, I mean, I sort of opened up my eyes to this world of opportunity and freedom, which was so beneficial to me. Then I looked to create an opportunity for myself, something new that didn't exist, and immersion therapy is what I come up with.
So it's such a great concept, because when you see what's happening underwater, you realise that people just have total freedom back.
Yeah.
I love the somersaults.
Yeah, Jocelyn, the somersault queen.
Yeah.
And you know, we've all tried to match her, but nobody actually can. So,
but you know, being able-bodied as I think I am, and having actually dived and realising what that sensation is, it's really like when you're learning to dive, you're not diving in the ocean, you're just in limited water, and what the freedom that gives you is extraordinary.
Exactly.
So are you coaching? What's your part in this?
Yeah, so I mean, my profession is a dive instructor. I teach people to dive. My part in the immersion therapy is basically I'm in control of the participants in the pool. So yeah, I look after them, make sure everything goes well.
So it's also the business of being comfortable with everything on, that you can take everything off and put it all back on. You're training with all of that?
Yep. So I mean,
take out the mouthpiece, which we've got here. Just show some of the gear that the people are using.
So I mean, we've got a basic regulator. Obviously, we have a little bigger tank than this in the pool, but this is a basic regulator.
Which just goes in your mouth.
So it pops it in your mouth.
Put it in your mouth. Come on, show us how it goes. It's so attractive. Yep. And you just breathe through that.
Nice and simple. Breathing is
Exactly.
normal as possible.
Yes, Darth Vader, he called you.
Yeah.
And obviously you've got a mask on as well.
Yep.
Do you teach about blowing the water out the mask and all that sort of stuff?
If the people are able to do that, then yes. Some people have a little bit more trouble than others, and so we have these full face masks as well.
Just turn it around so that everyone at home can see. Yeah.
Yep. So there's no way for water to get into these masks, and so it eliminates the need to get water out entirely. So it's just a lot more comfortable.
What you're saying is the person who's in the water feeling free also feels physically free, that they're not going to get water in their face.
Exactly.
They're going to breathe normally. The only difference is you've got to train your body to think I'm breathing through my mouth, not my nose. Well, can you breathe through your nose there?
You can, because your whole face is enclosed.
Right.
You can breathe just like you would on land.
Right.
There's no difference.
And the good news about this is that you've managed to get this ticked by the government.
Yeah, exactly. That was a really big challenge. When I started, I always identified that it was a very beneficial program for people, like physically, mentally, and socially. You know, like we can use our program in a hydrotherapy setting where people that have perhaps come through injury recently can do this as part of a therapy, but then be plugged into other social programs that are around.
Right.
Because I sort of learnt through meeting Tim that may usually take up to 5 years for people to come to terms enough with their injuries and their life to start looking at other social interactions. So through our program, we can show them something really fun and cool that even their friends may not have ever imagined they would be doing, and here they are doing it themselves.
Yeah. And seeing the vision of what we've been showing, that's where you really get it. Oh, right. You really are. It's like floating in space.
It is. It is. Yep.
And the other beauty is there's no sharks in the pool. Right?
No sharks.
Look, guys, thanks. We're coming back with some more guys sort of in your situation to tell their story with Janice in just a moment. Stay with us on Our Time.
Welcome back, and I'm welcoming back Peter because we have two other gentlemen with us, Ben, and welcome, and Richie. But we were talking, what you're doing is absolutely fantastic. But what amazes me too is obviously there are some people with the disability where they don't actually have arms, but they're still able to dive.
Yeah, correct. Well, we don't dive, but it'd be involved in the immersion therapy program.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, sure. So,
but there are signals that are used
yeah,
underwater.
correct. Well, I mean, there's some basic hand signals which would be recognised sort of around the world internationally with scuba diving, which we sort of incorporate. Some of them are the OK signals, so you know if we ask someone if they're OK.
But how do they manage if they
Well, of course, I mean, look, we started with Ben and we sort of went with blinking eyes, didn't we? Batting eyelids or
nodding the head.
Nod the head, yes or no. So we'd ask Ben if he's OK and he'd tell us.
But you have arms, Ben, so sorry to interrupt you, Peter.
I've got no dexterity in my fingers, so I can't move them.
Actually, yeah.
So I can't actually create a thumb up or a thumb down or an OK, it's all the same.
Can I ask you why this has happened to you?
I had an accident in the end of December 2013. I jumped into the river, Murray Bridge, and the water was just too shallow. Yeah, so I dived in head first, the back of my head hit the ground, my eyes hit my chest, broke my C5 vertebrae, which left me paralysed pretty much from the chest down.
But and obviously you love the water, so this is something that you can do that you really enjoy.
Yeah, most definitely. Like prior to the accident, I lived in the water, always down the river or in the sea surfing.
Wow.
And now I can be back in the water.
Yeah.
You know, getting a hydrotherapeutic benefit. While
and the social aspect as well.
Yeah, social, everything.
Obviously.
Everyone's good lads, even Pete.
Well done. And Richie, to involve you, welcome to the program too. Can I ask you your story too?
Yeah, so I fell off a motorbike probably about 14, 15 months ago now. So yeah, it's sort of still reasonably fresh.
Yes.
But yeah, and sort of lucky enough to be a part of this program during the start. And
it sounds like an amazing support group.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah,
what you're doing is wonderful.
Like Ben said, you know, just the people.
Yeah.
Great bunch of people.
And obviously, Malcolm was talking to before, Brendan and Tim. Tim has done some amazing things.
Yeah, definitely.
So it's just opening a whole new world, isn't it, really? What you're doing, Peter, for these guys is just tremendous.
Yeah, well, I mean, they do it for themselves. I mean, I've just tried to create the opportunity for them to take.
Yeah.
I mean, ultimately, it's their decision to be involved.
When did you start this?
Well, technically, we sort of officially started with Ben perhaps 6 months ago.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, it's...
Fantastic. So, tell me, who pays for all of it? How do you get funding for this?
Well, that's the tricky part. So, in the beginning, I used some of my money that I received as a disability payment from return to work or work cover, which I received after my accident, and I dedicated that to initiating this program. And I can tell you what, with my wife down the first night we got Ben in the water on his 21st birthday, there was some pretty easy flowing tears there, and we thought it was all worth that. And then we've just met the rest of the crew and moved on, and things have gone from strength to strength. We are relying heavily though for people that are unfunded through donations. So we've obviously made connections with Return to Work, LSA, which Richie's a member of, and that they're actually funding or going to fund Richie's participation.
Right.
But people like Ben, unfortunately, don't have access to that, and that was always an issue.
And is there, so like for somebody like me and for our people at home, is there some way then if they would like to donate?
Yes, definitely.
That they can do that?
So if you go to our website, which is www.determine2.com.au, there's a couple of easy in-your-face buttons there for donations.
Right.
And that's actually not a donation to us as a company, but to Disability Recreation.
Like somebody like Ben?
Well, it goes to Disability Recreation and Sports, which is a local non-for-profit, and which Ben is a member of.
Okay.
And through that, he can stay included in immersion therapy through that funding.
Wow.
We've also got Give It a Goes, which is for people that want to come down and try this program that don't necessarily want to go scuba diving but think this looks fun and like a really cool thing to do.
Water.
Yeah, and we've got a lady coming in to do it for her 60th birthday in a couple of weeks. Her and 9 friends, and we're basically not charging people, but we're asking that they make a $50 donation or more to Disability Recreation and Sports. So it's a charity, and again, so they'll actually make a donation which will support people like Ben through the program, and they'll also get to come and do something really cool.
So how often would you guys actually do this?
At the start, I was going once a week.
Yeah.
I've got uni commitments, so I've had to drop off a bit, unfortunately.
Okay.
And
Richie, how often?
Yeah, I pretty much try and do it once a week. week.
Yeah.
It's good.
I guess
good bit
the
of
more
therapy
time that you can do it, the
Yeah.
better
Oh,
it is
yeah.
for you.
Yeah,
That's
definitely.
very
Like
beneficial.
mentally as well as physically.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely physically
Yeah.
huge.
Wow. Well, this is just incredible. I think you've come in and you've shown us all this equipment, and I mean, who you pay for this too, or is it?
Well, again, I've got some sponsors in Australian Underwater Products
Fantastic.
or Submerged Nation as
Yep.
well, which is a magazine, the diving community.
Yeah.
And they supply Australia with diving equipment. They're one of the biggest distributors. So I went to them at first. They kind of thought I was crazy with what I was trying to do.
Oh, really?
But I kept pitching them and kept showing them nice photos of Ben and what we were trying to achieve. And they came to the party. So we ended up with about $18,000 worth of equipment for about $6,000. So,
Wow. So again, if we've got anybody out there that can obviously sponsor you as well with equipment, anything that you need would be
of course,
amazing.
Yep.
So we wish you luck, you guys. I think it's amazing. How many people do you have? How many of you are you looking after?
It grows every day. We took a group of 40 people applied last week.
Really?
One group from one organisation. We had the birthday party. There's 10 people there.
Yep.
And we've got about 15 people actively involved in the program of immersion therapy, but we've really only launched in the last couple of weeks
Oh,
where people can actually apply.
Oh, right. But you, as you said, you started this
about 6 months ago, but that
Yeah.
6 months has been actually making sure that Tim tells us that we're doing the right thing. Brendan tells me I'm doing the right thing, and we've also got another instructor, Andrew Carney,
Right.
and with the medical people at the Royal Adelaide Hospital, Dr. David Wilkinson. It's actually important to mention him because he's been an integral part to this. So as long as those guys are happy, and of course the participant, I call them the development team.
The development
Which is Ben, Richie,
Yeah.
Tim and Jocelyn, who couldn't be on here unfortunately on the show.
Yeah.
The Somersault Queen, you'll see her from the Facebook and website.
Yeah.
Making sure that all those guys were happy, that other people could come in, and we're like I said, we've just reached that now.
What's your goal though for this? Do you have is there somewhere that where do you see yourself?
National, national, definitely. We're trying to get in with a National Disability Insurance Scheme.
Yeah.
And I've met with some of the officials involved with that, and they're really supportive. So our idea is to build this program, which doesn't exist.
No.
And it's not just for people with disabilities. I have to say, this program is just for anybody. It just happens to be something that guys like Ben and Richie can do as well.
Yeah.
So
come along and join in the fun.
It's an inclusive program. So and like I said, that's all it is fun. So and therapy.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's got to have the benefit.
Absolutely amazing. Thank you so much for coming in and talking to us, and I wish you all the best of luck.
Thank you.
And over to Malcolm.
So, have you been underwater with any of that stuff?
No, it's felt like it. I've played the underwater music.
You did. It was great to have you on the program to be our band in the corner.
Yes.
With 52 instruments. Oh no, there's more than that in the notes, isn't it?
This is 88 keys.
There you go.
So
88 instruments we
yes,
had.
I was thrown
Each
in the
one-
deep end. I was thrown in the deep end, but
Boom, boom.
that felt
Very
like water.
good.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, I can't think of any funny things to say now. Janice, that was fascinating, wasn't it? And one of the things we didn't talk about. Sorry, I cut you off.
No, but I think it's absolutely amazing
It
what
is, isn't it?
Peter's doing. I mean, it's for those people. It must be such a joy.
And support. We need to support people like that.
Yeah, we do.
But one of the things I was saying, and you were asking about using the hand signals and things, was in that mask.
Yes.
They've got microphones inside, and they can actually talk inside. So if they can't do the "I'm okay, mate," or I'm
nod, and which
Yes.
they were doing, they just talk into the mask.
But being underwater, the sensation of wanting to breathe is you have to block it out completely.
See, I've never done that.
Some people really freak out. But you see, it's like playing the keyboard, or it's like suddenly being on television. You haven't done that before. No. It's like, oh, hello, what's all this about? It's been an interesting program for you.
Yeah.
It has. I haven't been on television before either.
Oh,
so
probably never again either.
apart from Funniest Home Videos. Of course.
Boom, boom, yes, of course. You haven't changed a lot since then, really. It's just the glasses.
Yes.
His Harry Potter glasses.
There we go. I'll take that as a compliment.
Yes,
I'm still young.
It is. The thing is, though, and I'm not saying this because you're here, but I think you're going to be one of the great Australians of the future musically. I think both in composition, but also in a cabaret area. I think you've got a great deal of potential there. So it's going to be interesting to watch this boy grow. Maybe you could come back next week and play for a bit more for us again.
Yes, I could.
Could
yes.
you? Okay, well, we might do that.
We've enjoyed having you here, Josh.
Thank you.
very
I've
much.
enjoyed being here. It's
Thank
been
you.
wonderful.
And folks, we'd love you to join us on Facebook and just find out what's on the show next week and the time after and whenever. Join us, become a friend, and you can find out a little bit more about the people that are on Facebook, and we'll leave some information about the water immersion or the immersion. 'Cause
Yes.
what else could you be immersed in?
Mud?
Happiness.
Jelly?
But listen, why don't we just let you play us out, Josh? Play something clever.
Sure. I'm playing Beethoven.
See you next time on OurTime. Keep yourself nice till then.